Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The translation reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? My name is Tapiwa and I am 32 years old. I am a husband and a father of 2 young children. When I came to South Africa, I already had 1 child with my ex-wife who ended up cheating on me, and then she left me. In my desperation, that was when I came to South Africa. So I can say that my dishonesty started when I was still in Messina. There was a place where people that were coming from Zim, they were staying there, being helped by different organizations. Then there was this other man who came to me. This man then told me that he was at a Bible school in Zim and he had not yet graduated as a pastor. So he was looking for money so that he can continue with his studies here in South Africa. But what was needed was money. He then said that, look at all these people, because we would go to this other mobile place where the Home Affairs were giving us asylums. So we would go there and there were plenty of people, like a lot of them. He said, can you see what I see? And I said, no, I cannot see anything. And at that time, we were just sitting by the railway tracks and we were looking at all the people that were in line waiting to get their asylum seekers permits. And he then said, this is an opportunity to bring people unto God. And I said, but with what I am going through, all that I need is a job. I don't think that I have the energy to do that. He then said that with your voice, your commanding voice, you sound more like an evangelist, someone that can draw people unto the Lord. He told me that I should take it as a good business opportunity. So I agreed, Brother Naji. I agreed to be his partner and he was going to start his own church. So back in the location in Messina, he then spoke with this other woman, an elderly woman, and he asked the woman if it was possible for him to set up a church at her home because she was just staying there alone. So all that was needed was money for us to hire a tent. We then went and we worked for these other Chinese. We would offload the blankets and whatnot. After we had gotten our money, after a fortnight, we then went and we found a woman who was willing to give us the tent. So we paid a little bit that we had and we promised her that we were going to pay her later on. So after that, she then came and then she set up the tent for us each and every evening, because there were a lot of people that would go to the Home Affairs to apply for their permits, and most of them, they were not able to get their permits in one day. Some would wait for months and months, going up and down. So it was a cat and mouse game. As long as you were at the Home Affairs premises, the police would not arrest you. But the moment that you would get out of the Home Affairs premises, you could get arrested. So people were always running around being chased by the police, and they were only able to find some safe space at our church. This is what we used to do. So people would come and bring their offerings. Here I'm talking about people that were suffering. They would come and bring us their 10 rand, 20 rand. But at the end of the day, when we would work out the money, we would see that it was a lot of money. And mind you, these were people that were moving from Messina, going to different parts of South Africa. So no one knew that this was the game plan that we were doing. I stayed with this man until I saw that I had enough, and then I moved to Joburg, where I started attending this other church. It was still a brand new church. I ended up meeting the mother of my child. Partly I blame her because she is that type of a woman who is not satisfied with what I have, even though I had found a job whereby I was getting paid each and every 2 weeks. I would bring the money back home, and then she would give me this list of the things that she wanted. After each and every 2 weeks, she would want her hair to be done. During those days, women were so crazy about this weave that was called tamika. So she would go and get her hair done, and after that, she would say, I want my nails to be done. I want this to be done. She always wanted money. She did not drink alcohol as such, but she was that type of a person who always wanted money from me. what did I do? Now, since I had access to the church coffers, that was when I started to steal from the church. I want to tell you the truth. Yes, I started stealing from the church. So during those days, a lot of people did not have bank accounts. So they would bring their money to church in envelopes, because when it will be like month end, the last Sunday before month end, then we would hand out these other brown envelopes, and then you would go with that envelope back to your house. And after you would have gotten your salary, you were supposed to bring back to church 10% as part of your tithing. So the pastor and the church secretary, they trusted me a lot. At that time, I was staying at the church premises with my South African wife. So me and my wife, sometimes we would calculate that the money that we will be having, that the people would have paid in form of their church tithing, it would be close to 20, even 30,000 rands before we could hand over that money to the church secretary. We then found out that the pastor and the church secretary sometimes would not even ask for those money that the people would have paid, maybe for 2 to 3, even a month before they would come and then collect the money. So my wife then told me that this other place where her cousin sister was staying in the informal settlements, there were a lot of people that were making money. These people, they were making money, doing this loan shark business, whereby you give someone some money, and then when they return it back to you, it will be having a percentage. So that is what my wife then convinced me to do. I did not want to do it, because I said, look here, even if we say that we are going to do it, but this is money that belongs to the Lord. We are stealing this money. On top of that, you want me to borrow this money to other people so that when they bring back that money to us, then this money that they would have brought back to us, the money they would pay with interest. God for surely is going to punish us. But she then convinced me and said that this was our only way out of poverty, because with the way that we were using church money, one day, she said, is one day we won't be able to settle the bills. Let us do this, my love, she said. So I agreed after she had persuaded me, and then I allowed her. The first time she took 10,000 and then she went with it. That money, when it came back, it was a lot, and I said, fine, let us do this. So we started doing that. Me and my wife, we then went to Dragon City, and then we started buying clothes, those fake clothes, and we would sell it specifically to people that were coming from Zim. Most of them, they did not know the difference between original Adidas or a Puma and a fake one. So we would sell them those soccer jerseys and whatnot, and we used the money that we were stealing from church until we managed to buy our first second-hand taxi. And from there on, we started making money. To this very day, me and my wife, we are living a very comfortable life, Brother Nashi. But it all started with the money that we got from the church, that I stole from the church. This is my own confession. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother. That was the translation of the message that he sent to me. So are you happy, brother, knowing that you stole from the Lord? Do you know what happened in the Bible? Because there are those that stole from the Lord. Do you know what happened to them? You should be scared. But let us try to speak with him in the comment section.